So I think after this episode of Chilling in Another World with those level 2 super cheat powers, he is going to be hearing a lot more noise coming out of this household at night. So Fenris and Fleo have been getting busy, to catch my drift, and props to them. I'm absolutely happy for them. But Gholl decided to move in. The Dark One, the Demon Lord. Well, former Demon Lord after this episode. He kind of just gave up the power. But at the end of the day, this is a character that Balirosa has been absolutely petrified of. And he's had his eye on her for a hot minute. And I think there's enough hint that even if she has had a hatred for him, and, you know, his people and everything like that, I think it's crystal clear she finds him attractive, given some of the blush. Her actual feelings about him, those are still a little bit away. But by the end of this episode, she does come to accept him moving in, and I wouldn't be shocked into Season 2 if he also is observing for observations from maybe some good night conversations, we'll put it like that. Because I honestly think it's not just Gholl who wants to take a ride on the Balirosa train. I think she also wants to hop on that pogo stick, if you catch my drift. Now, of course, I have full live reactions to all these episodes over on Patreon. If you want to see my full and good thought to any of these cheat skill episodes, it's going to be over there exclusively. So, him moving in is surprising because I figured, okay, based on how they ended last episode, it looked like he was going to confront his brother. Okay, they're going to throw hands. Maybe he does get betrayed. Maybe there's just going to be too many people and he can't go against. Because at the end of the day, who seems more like a Dark One? Gholl or his brother? His brother. Like, that's the only answer. He very much, it wouldn't be surprising if people stabbed him in the back. But it's the fact that he's powering up. You swear he's in Dragon Ball or something. Everyone in the room's like, oh my. Now I remember why I follow this guy. And then he just takes it off and says, I relinquish the throne. Adios, amigo. And honestly, I think the actual answer to why he did that, he just wants to hang out with his best friend and hopefully bang a hot night. That is my canon, and I refuse to accept any other explanations. Whether he says so or not, that's the canon. He wants to chill with his best friend, and he wants to bang a hot night. Ghoul's the type of guy who I honestly think a day after getting together with her would probably talk about their kids. Like, hey, how many kids you want and when do you want to start? He does not give me the impression that he would chill on that front, and I think even after she accepts her feelings, most likely, now there's still potential that she doesn't fully commit to something like that, but I'm shipping them. I'm saying the ship's sailing whether the author likes it or not. But like, even if they got together, she would still remain just as flustered around him, let's be 100%. But I thought what was going to happen based on the little nighttime chat that they were all having prior to the morning after and her accepting Gholl and everything was that they were going to bond over not knowing their place, because everyone kind of has a role, but it does feel like out of the group, you know, she definitely had one that, like, felt like, okay, is she a freeloader? Like, obviously, they're not going to call her one, but, like, I could understand why she would feel that. And then for this guy just wandering, like, I can't tend the fields, I can't do the horses, like, what does he do? I thought that was going to be their bonding, like maybe they'd figure out something they could do together, and then in return, that's how they would kind of accept each other. But they still went with something that was enjoyable. It's just not what I was expecting, but then again, the show in general isn't what I'm expecting. I mean, just look at Jessie and James of the show. I totally expected that this spear hero wannabe would be, like most shows in a similar coat of paint, would be the most infuriating character, and in fact, he's actually the one true king. The show is actually going to end someday at, like, season 24, with him on the Iron Throne. There's no other ending that you could give this show, if I'm being 100%. But we did get a little bit of them, and the fact that, like, they're just, at one point, when we're discussing the throne, the one woman who's basically an amplified version of darkness is holding a sword next to them. Like, that's a threat. No one in that room cared about them. Like, at all. If they would have killed them in the moment, Gholl would have been like, who's that? And then, we don't know how they got out, but apparently they robbed them and they're running for their life, and I'm just like, they're so harmless. And I think, if anything, this proves what more Isekai need. More Isekai need completely useless and harmless characters that just add a level of comedy, and they're unironically convinced that they are the MC. That they will do whatever in their head makes sense. But at the end of the day, yeah, they may turn into giant abominations, or yeah, they may try to do some kidnapping, but it's probably going to get resolved as easy as it is to flick a mosquito away. More isekai need to do whatever these two are, because somehow I honestly like their two's dynamic. It started off with her opinion of, I'm gonna stick with you because someday you'll be powerful and I'll benefit from that. And his opinion was, you're hot, okay. And then after last episode, they feel like they're actually building I don't know how. I don't know how. This is the first time I've ever said this about this type of character. Because I've seen many of characters in that shield hero level persona, and they're always infuriating, and I like that because they're meant to be, in a good character that gets under your skin. They turn that into the best part of the show. If there was a meteor strike in this anime, and it killed everyone, and I'm like, holy shit, that's a bad ending, but those two made it out alive, I'd say that's actually a good ending. The true hero survived. And you might think I'm messing with you with this, but I actually firmly like them this much. I thought it was funny at first, but they've like legitimately become my favorite. It's kind of like playing Where's Waldo. I'm always looking forward to when they're gonna pop up in an episode, and they never fail to make me laugh. I just like them that much. Like, at the end of the day, what's the most important part of this episode? The Balirosa and Gholl development, 100%. Very well done, thought out, makes total sense why she feels this way, and it's hilarious that she didn't even realize that Fenris was also technically an enemy. I thought they were just going the route of, you know, you weren't the leader, so I don't hold you to the same standards. No, she just didn't even realize, and that's hilarious. But what is Brandon's favorite part of the episode? You best believe it's Team Rocket. And if that wasn't the influence for this author's opinion of, like, how to design these two characters, like, hey, what if we took that, like, usually very infuriating, bitchy, and manipulative duo between the mine wannabe and then the spear hero wannabe, and instead we made them Jessie and James of Team Rocket of Pokemon? That has to be the influence, and if not, it's the funniest coincidence I've ever seen. Either way, I am loving this show. I'm glad it's not wrapping up next week, because we are approaching that time when shows are slowly wrapping up. We still got this one for a couple more, and I would love to see a season 2, and if not, give me a spin-off of course, my favorite characters. But let me know what you thought down below, and be sure to leave a like if you enjoyed. Subscribe if you're new around here, of course, ring that bell. And like I mentioned, we got those full live reactions over on Patreon, and hey, while you're over there, I'll also give you a video shout-out. So today we got Ari, Chris Swiper, Connor Reeves, Green Bean, TMG Gaming 999, Sulki-san, and Jord. So I appreciate the support, everyone. Please take care, and you all have a good one.